All right. So, if anyone remembers last week, we were just using the quadratic formula to find the solution to quadratic equations, right? Yeah. Okay, so far we've just been dealing with answers that give you nice whole integer numbers. So today we'll be using the quadratic formula to get answers that you'll have to round or are irrational numbers. So for this first one, what do we have to do? What do we always do when we have quadratic equations?
Find our A, B, and C value.
Okay, what's our A?
1,
1. What's our B?
8,
8, and C?
-1.
-1. So, JC, what would I do once I have all these things identified? So what would I write?
Are we still doing that? Are we still doing that thing?
The quadratic equation formula? Yes.
Okay, so negative b
Okay.
plus or minus and the square root thing. And then b squared. I'm trying to remember this. I can't.
Okay,
remember
that's
it.
perfectly fine.
Minus
Squared minus.
4ac over 2a.
Right. So that is the standard form of the quadratic formula. So now that we have this written down, now we can plug in our A, B's, and C's, right? Okay, so Shamarky, what would I write?
Negative, parentheses,
Okay.
8, the line thing, and then the line.
Oh, this line.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then 8 squared
8 squared.
plus -4, 1 in parentheses, and -1 in parentheses,
All right.
over 2 times 1.
All right, perfect. So we just plugged in all of our values. It's all we really do when we have a quadratic equation. We're using the quadratic formula. So now we make it pretty, right? We get rid of all the parentheses. So someone who hasn't talked yet today, what would I do? If we're going from all this mumbo jumbo to something neater. Isaac? Okay. What would I write then?
-8,
Okay.
plus or minus, and put the square root thing. Then the 8 squared is 64,
Yep.
plus 4,
Plus 4.
over 2.
Right. So, what we do after that is we simplify what's under that square root sign, right? So 64 plus 4 is
68.
68, right? That's all over 2. Is 68 a perfect square?
No.
Nope. So, if you punch that in your calculator right now, what would you get?
A decimal.
A really long decimal that no one has the time to say, right? So, when you take the square root of numbers that are not perfect squares, you're going to get an irrational number that's like pi, right? It just keeps going on and on forever. So what we do with numbers like that, we just round them to the nearest hundredth value. So what do you get when you take the square root of 68, Rose?
8.24.
Not the square root, we already did that. 8.24,
Yeah.
and that's when you rounded, right?
No.
You didn't round? Ooh. Okay. So, now that we have this, Brighton,
Shouldn't it be 25 if there's a 6 behind the 4?
Yeah.
So then it would be Yeah, 8.25.
Okay, so what's the answer that you get? Just like what's 8.24?
246211251.
8.26 or 24 what?
6211251.
Okay, so this is all we're dealing with since we're just rounding to the hundredths place, right? All we care about is what this number will be, and to determine that, we use the number right after that. So that's a 6, right? So when the number after any decimal point, if it's 5 or greater, we usually round up, right? So since this is a 6, we would round the 4 up to a 5. So this would be 8.25. Good question. All right, so we're at a point where we can just split these up, right? Yes, so what do we do? Or what are our two expressions that we have?
Negative 8 plus 8.25 over 2.
Okay, that's one.
Negative 8 minus 8.25 over 2.
Exactly. So what's that first one? It's negative 8 plus 8.25 divided by 2. Brighton?
It'd be 2.5 over 2.
2.5.
Oops, sorry. 0.25.
Okay. Let's catch 0.25 over 2. And can we divide that out or into anything pretty?
No.
Nope. So since we are using or finding squares that will be rounding to the hundredths place, we can just plug this into our calculator and get a decimal answer. So what's 0.25 divided by 2 when you plug that into your calculator?
You get 0.125.
Okay, that equals 0.125. And if we round that to the hundredths place, what do we get?
113.
0.13, exactly. Perfect. So that's at one solution. What's our other one? What's negative 8 minus 8.25? What was that, Stefan? Okay, it's negative 16.25 over 2. What does that come out to be on the calculator? Does anyone have it on the calculator? Emerson?
X equals negative 8.13.
Say that again, negative 8.13. All right, so we got two solutions. Our discriminant was what? Positive, negative, 0? Yeah, that's positive, right? So that means we have how many solutions? 2, right. Do we get 2 solutions? All right. Okay, so is everyone good on this side? Yeah, JC? All right, next one. I'm hardly going to do anything. You guys are going to tell me everything I have to do because I know you guys can do this. So what do I do first?
And make it equal to 0, so we'll subtract 8x and add 1.
Okay. That's not right. Those cancel, so we have negative 8x plus 1 plus 2x, right? That's awful. X squared. That's the way we have those things, right? Negative 8x plus 1 plus 2x squared.
1 and 2 squared divided by 1.
Sure, we can do that too. I'm just trying to confuse you guys or make you explain why. So what would this turn into?
2x squared minus 8x plus 1.
Oh, do the.
Yeah.
You didn't fool me.
I fooled you?
No, you didn't.
I didn't fool you. That's great. I don't want to. Alright, so we have it in standard ax squared plus bx plus c form. So now that it's like that, what do we do?
Equals 0.
Equals 0. Good catch.
Find the A, B, C, C.
Yep, and what are those?
A is 2.
Negative
B
8.
is negative
2,
C is 1.
c is 1. Okay. I'm not going to do anything. You
No,
guys are
and
gonna tell
then
me.
we do the formula.
Yeah, you do the formula. So what do you do? First one.
Negative b, or negative and then negative b. The line. Negative b plus negative 4
Negative.
times a times negative b
Negative.
squared
Okay, so there.
plus negative 4
Negative 4.
plus 2. I mean, you multiply by 2, then c is 1.
Okay. And
2
all over 2
times
times 1.
1. 2.
There you go. All right. Does everyone think that's the right way? Are all our A, B's, and C's in the right places where they should be? Cool. So, again, I'm not going to do anything. You guys are going to tell me.
Now we solve it, so
We what?
now we're gonna like solve it, like, it will be x equals like 8, like, we positively,
Yeah. So we have 8 plus or minus.
64.
Yep, because negative 8 times negative 8 is 64, right? So what's negative 4 times 2?
Be
Negative 8.
Negative 8. What's that times 1?
Negative 8.
Negative 8, exactly. This is all over. 2 times 2 is 4. Good work. Alright, so what's 64 minus 8?
56.
56. Okay, so we have 56. Oh, or what's the square root of 56?
There's no square root. 7 times 8 is 56.
Right. 56 isn't a perfect square, is it?
No.
Nope, so with what we've been doing today, what do we do? Right?
So do you want me to tell you the answer?
I just want you to tell me what the square root of 56 is.
Alright. 7.48.
Okay. Nope, I keep putting that square root sign there. Plus what was it? 7.48.
48.
And you rounded that, right?
Yes.
Because it goes on forever and ever. No one has the time for long decimals like that. Alright, so we're at a point where we can split this up, right? Uh-huh. So what do we write? What's our first expression that we have?
Plus 8 plus 7.48
Mm-hmm.
4.
Okay, and what's our other one?
8 minus 7.48 4.
Exactly. So, someone give me the answer for that first one, who hasn't talked a lot today. Emerson?
X equals 3.87.
X, okay, x equals 3.87. X equals, that's an x. So what's 8, or 8 plus 7.48? Yep, all over 4, and then when you divide that, you get 3.87, right? I take the silence as a yes. All right, so the second one, 8 minus 7.48 is 0.52, right? Over, that is a giant 4. All right, what's 0.52 divided by 4? 4? 0.52 divided by 4 is 4. Someone raise their hand and tell me. Stefan? 0.13? 0.13. All right. Do we get two solutions?
Yes.
Yes. Is our discriminant positive?
Yes.
Good. That's the way it should be. All right. Does anyone have any questions about anything that we did today? Isaac?
Do both of the numbers have to be positive?
No, they don't. Because on your previous assignments, have you gotten positive, one positive solution and one negative one? No, that should be the same for these, right?
Oh,
But rows,
And discriminant negative. Not gonna have any solutions, but I think it stays on.
if your discriminant's negative. If your discriminant is ever negative, what does that tell us about how many solutions it has?
It should be 0.
I heard a lot of things.
There's only one solution.
There's one solution when your discriminant's negative. There's two. There's no solution. Okay, so I think what Rose is asking is if your discriminant is ever negative, you have to keep solving it. Is that your question, Rose? No? Okay, well, if your discriminant is ever negative, that tells you that there's no solution, right? So that would be the answer to that question then. All right, so does anyone have any other questions before I let you loose on your homework? No, all right then. All right, you guys are free to work, your assignment's on the board.